joining me now from Washington, D.C.'s William Lawrence. He's a professor of political science at American University. Professor, as usual, great seeing you. So firstly, this vote, as we know, was delayed several times on Thursday. Just run us through the politics at play here.
So the main issue is, could we have a normal extension that most countries seem to be supporting of 1 year, which allows the 30 or so NGOs providing massive amounts of aid to the 4.1 million refugees in northwestern Syria, about 2.5 million of which absolutely depend on this aid for their sustenance. Whether this won't go on for a year or whether Russia will continue to limit the access points, limit the duration, limit the predictability of it all, and limit it down to 6 months. They do have that veto at the UN. It's interesting, in the context of Ukraine, to see these types of negotiations going on. But ultimately, I think, either we'll have more predictable aid or less predictable aid, but it will continue for 6 months, one way or another.
So there are fears that Russia can veto this mandate's extension. Do you think that Russia has plans on using this as leverage in one form or the other?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point. And Russia's sort of hard to predict. They do like horse trading. It's unclear to me at these closed sessions. We haven't been privy to what they're trading for. Obviously, everything's on the table for Russia, including sanctions on Russia, and the food assistance going through the Turkish straits. But also, if the only leverage is vis-a-vis things on the ground, we have an active conflict right now in Syria. These aren't ceasefires just holding and lines that are unmoving, but we have several active foreign armies and domestic armies on the move in Syria, inflicting casualties, death on civilians. We've had an Israeli operation recently. We had Turkish operations. So there's a lot of things in motion in Syria right now. And if Russia can use this leverage vis-a-vis humanitarian assistance, whether it's going to relate it to Ukraine-related assistance or domestic Syrian issues, that's always going to be in play with the Russians.
I'd love to leave it there. Professor William Lawrence at American University once more. Thank you.